Hey guys, welcome to another session, the Starknet Kampala Basecamp. So in this session we are going to see how we can develop smart contracts, and after which we shall see how we can deploy them in Starknet. So we are going to be using Foundry. Foundry is sort of like a framework for writing smart contracts on Starknet. So Foundry, one of the requirements you need to install it is you must have Scab. You must have Scab and you must have Sierra. So to check whether you have Scab, you can check whether you have Scab installed. You can just go ahead and say Scab version. Okay. So you can just say Scab. So when you put Scab and you see that it returns this, you know that it's installed. And then the other requirement will be that you need to have Sierra. Sierra comes when you are installing Cairo. So if I told you have Cairo installed, Sierra definitely will be there. So here this is how you can install Foundry. Yeah, so since I'm using Linux, I can just run this. So you copy this and then you can put it in your terminal, but since I already have it installed, so you put that in your terminal and then it will install it. Then after which you just after running the command, that's if you're using Linux, you can just come right here. You can just come right here and add SN Foundry. You can just come right here and add SN Foundry app. Then you press enter. So then this will install it. So after installing it that way, so there are various instructions. Then there is also an instruction for Windows. So then after installation, you just come and prove whether it's installed. So you can come and say SN Forge version. It has to return the version number, and then SN cast version as well has to return, so that confirms that it's installed properly. So after that, that was a bit of installation. So now we can see how to start working with Foundry practically. So to initiate a project in Foundry, that's a Starknet smart contract. You will You can make a directory for your work. So I already made one. So if I told you on Linux, you can just say make directory, then the name, maybe Starknet project. Since I had already made one, so it's telling me that it already exists. So, but that's the command used to make a directory. So I'll just change to my already made directory. Yeah, and then you see ls to check out the existing subdirectories. So after making the directory, then you can come and insert a new project. You just say snforge in it, and then the name of the project. So we are going to be handling an RC20 airdrop. So that's how we have. So we have initiated one. So I'll start very fast. So after initiating, we can open it in Visual Studio Code. Can open it in Visual Studio Code. Yeah, but you have to first start. We don't need to open everything. So you can first change the name of your, in this case, your smart contract. And then for which you open it in Visual Studio Code. So we open it by saying codes dot. So let me open. Let me open it. So I've opened it. So it helps me it comes with a few files. Of course it comes with a lib.cairo file. That's how it looks like. As well comes with a file for tests, the Cairo tests. As well it comes with a git ignore file. And there is a file for high dependencies, which is the scrub is for managing the dependencies. Yeah. So it comes with such a structure. So we are going to explore. So what we are going to work on is a token, an ERC20 token airdrop. So if I told you to go back, so if I told you to go back to our Foundry documentation, so if I told you to go back to our Foundry documentation, you can first see, so it comes with search and still the same thing. You can check the version, and then you can add other dependencies using that command. Yeah, so I'm using the Foundry documentation. Of course, we saw something about SCAP as being the package manager. Yeah, so right here they're talking about the project configuration. So you have the SCAP.toml file, and then you have the SNCast. To be able to work with the network, you need to supply SNCast with a few parameters. So SNCast comes in handy if at all we need to deploy something using Foundry itself. Yeah, so but to do that you must have SN Foundry.toml file. So we are going to configure something. So we can add another SN Foundry. .toml file, and this is to help us when we maybe want to deploy. Yeah, it helps us when maybe want to deploy. Yeah, that's how it helps us. So it's right there. So you can configure many things as we're going to see. And one of those things is you have to configure the configuration file, and then you have to have an RPC. So since an RPC is, we use it since we don't have a node ourselves, and you need a node to deploy on the blockchain. So for locally you can use Katana. It's a local node. You can check out Katana. Let me open that in the browser for us to see Katana. Starknet. So Katana comes in handy as a local node. That's if you don't want to deploy your, maybe when you are in development and you need to do everything locally for your testing. So Katana helps you that. So, but if at all you want to use an RPC, so Katana will give you, will start a node locally on your machine, and it will give you a JSON RPC server which is local. But in case you need to use already nodes, existing nodes, so that's Katana. You can find it as well in the Starknet book, the Starknet.io. If you need to use existing nodes, you have to add their RPC. So each node has an RPC. So let me just give an example. For example, I use the Nethermind RPC alert. I had opened the tab of Nethermind. So we can just go and check out Nethermind Starknet RPC. Yeah. So can browse that. So Nethermind as well has an RPC. So Yeah. So the Starknet, a fully Starknet and dedicated RPC for Starknet. So to use another main RPC, you will just need to copy this. There is one for the mainnet and there is one for the testnet, which in this case Sokovia. So we just need to copy it. And interesting bit of it is that for Nethermind Starknet RPC, you don't need an API key as compared to Infura. So let me just give a comparison of these two. So let's check out that Infura to use Infura you must have an already existing to use Infura you must have an already existing you must have set up an API key, and that's so tiresome. So that's why I find the Nethermind RPC so easy to use. So still following our documentation. So after that we are going to configure that in a few. So okay, you can have multiple profiles as well. So maybe let's try to set up an account. So let's see Starknet, so we can browse this. Starknet account setup. So let's see how we can set up an account on Starknet, because we need an account. Is what we are going to be used. It's what we are going to be using to deploy our smart contracts, and everything is given there. So let's see, is this exactly what we need? No. So let me just go back. Perfect documentation is docs.starknet.io. It explains it clearly. So they're saying how to set up an account. So first they're telling us to check the version, and we have done that. They're telling us to check the version. So let's check the version by saying to run Starkly and version. So we already have Starkly right there. So that one is working properly. I've already installed it. Yeah. So then they're saying us creating an account. A smart wallet is composed of two parts: a signer, yeah. So a smart contract, a signer, as we recall in one of our videos. We said that a signer can be a device, yeah. So in this case, it's a hardware signer. I'm using my machine, yeah. So they're saying a signer, a smart contract that can sign transactions. And then the other bit of it is a smart wallet is as well composed of a JSON file that contains information about the smart wallet, such as its address and public key. So after creating and finding your smart wallet is meanwhile, if at all you have, so we have extensions that we can use to to create smart wallets, and we have Bravos and Agent X. So for example, this is my test account. Yeah. So in case you need to add a test account, and maybe you are only on the main net, just come right here and then you select test network. But since I had already added mine, so just come here, select test network, then it will so that's how you, and then it will tell you switch to Essence or Polia, but since I already have an account, I don't need to create another one. But that's how you create one. Yeah, so I already have mine, which is already pre-funded with it. So after, let me, just for clarity, let me just create another one. So select Sepolia, and it will tell me to proceed. Yeah. So yeah, actually it's right here, add account. So then it will try to add an account for you. So I've created an account right there. Yeah. So I need to pre-fund my account. So I will head straight to pre-fund my account. I'll head straight to I think it's called Starknet Faucets. Sell it up, so it will come right there. So because I want to pre-fund my account, so then they'll ask me for the contract address for my newly created account. So then I'll come right here. Yeah. Then I'll copy this. Yeah. And then I'll add this right here. I'm going to fund it with it. So then it will ask me to complete a few things. Say select all images with cars. Okay. So then it will tell me to send a request. So then it will bring something like my transaction is being verified. So my account is in the process of being. So probably it has been refunded now. So I'll just come and confirm. So I have right here, I have it. So you can pre-fund it with it, or you can pre-fund it with stacks. So in case I want to pre-fund it with stacks, I just come here. Then they are telling me I have to wait for almost 60 minutes before requesting again. That's fine, because I already have pre-funded it with ETH. Yeah, so I can use that to pay my gas fees. So when you head back, so creating an account, so then they're telling us after creating an account, you need to create a signer. So a signer is a smart contract that can sign transactions, a crucial component of account transaction. To create a signer, you need a private key. What we get from the signer, we get the private key of your smart wallet. So the public can be derived from it. So Starknet has the ability to create a key store file, etc. Store the private key of smart wallets each with a password. So the accounts in the key store file can be used to sign transactions using Starknet. The main advantage of this approach is that it prevents storing the private key as plain. So that's a lot of literature. So after creating an account, you can go straight in creating a key store file. Yeah, in creating a key store file. So to do that, we are going to first we are going to follow the documentation. Yeah, and we are going to follow the documentation and create a new directory. So I had already created this directory, but I'm just going to repeat it so I can open up a new tab. As you can see, I've already created these. I can just make directory. I'm using Linux. The Starknet wallets deploy. So I already have this directory. That's why it has to complain. So I've made a mistake actually. So it's supposed to be Starknet wallets deploy. So I already have this directory right there. So now, to see that it has created, I can just go to change directory. So it's right there. This is not supposed to be there. So I can just use this to change that directory. So I had already created mine. So after that, we need to create our signer, to create a key store using a signer. So to do that, we use Starknet signer key store from key, and then so where our key store is going to be stored. So right here, Starknet wallet. Deployer stroke key store JSON. So it's telling me it already exists because I had already created. So after, when you run that command, it will ask for your private key and then the password. So the private key, let me just show us how to get our private key. So to get our private key, we get it from our private key from so to obtain our private key, let me just show us something right here. So you head to your browsers. Yeah, you head to your browsers. As you can see, that's my account is right there. It's Foundry. Head to your browsers and just open this again. Then after that, you head to this and you go to privacy and security, and then right here they will tell you to export private key. And to go back a little bit, the upper left corner, then you head to privacy and security, then they will request you to export your private key. And then here you are requested to put in your account. So after which your account, they will give to you your private key. So that's how we obtain our private key. Then the private key, just copy it right there, and then the password is the same password you used when you are creating your smart wallet. Yeah, that's the same password. So, and after that, so this is if at all you just want to fetch your wallet, your account. So we are going to see how to deploy. So we are going to use that alert. Yeah, so that's how we create up your that's how we create a key store file. And meanwhile, we didn't check on how to create our account. Yeah. So for our accounts, so you can just click on this to see how we create an account. So we have finished that right here. Yeah. So the fetch command supports both Agent X and Bravo smartphones. Make sure your address is already deployed and enter the following. So then here we shall as well have our account of JSON. So after that, you can head back to our Foundry documentation. So what you put in this here is your account, the location of your account of JSON file. For our case, it's this location. So to get the current location, you can, in case you're Linux, you can just set to present working directory and to give you that location. So that's the location you add in the account file, the location of account file, and then the account can be my account. Then the URL here, right here. So let me as well add this. Then the URL as well, right here. So the URL right here is, let me just copy this setup, copy this, paste it right here. So and put this right here. Our location, and this is that. So I can just come and copy this. PWD gets us a present tracking directory. So I just copy that, paste it. Right there. And then it's asking for the node URL. So you call the node URL and to help us get the node URL, it's from the Starknet RPC. So just copy that right